What's up YouTube? It's NG and I'm back. Today I'm into the Samsung Unpacked event devices. Now, the Unpacked event happened, what was it? August 5th. As of this recording, it is August 7th. I want to do my response to the Unpacked event, my reaction, but I didn't just want to jump in and just, say something off the top based on what I saw, because we all saw the same thing, and I'm sure many would agree it was a little underwhelming overall, especially the event itself, the acting, the way they transitioned from scene to scene. We had no choice but to compare it to the Apple event, which was done a lot better. Of course, the Apple one wasn't live, so I'm sure they had more than enough time to practice and rehearse and everything else. But that aside, the Samsung event did not deliver how I had hoped it would deliver, be a strong contender to arch rival Apple. Now, the execution of the event aside, they did show us some pretty cool devices. I'm sure many of us are excited for the new Note 20 and the Galaxy Buds, or the Buds Live, and the tablets, and the Z Fold 2, and the watch, and even though it wasn't announced, the Z Flip 5G. Not too long ago, I made a video going in order the devices I was most excited about in the Samsung Unpacked event. And for the most part, that order stayed consistent with what I had thought it would be. But one thing did change. The order that I had was the Buds Live, which was still, to me, the most exciting thing they announced. Then there was the Galaxy Watch 3. Then it was the Z Fold. Then it was the Tab S7. Then it was the Z Flip. I didn't even have the Note on my list. But 2 days have gone by. I've had time to sit and think about what I saw and what my true reaction to everything is. A lot of it comes down to me getting more information on the items, on the devices after the fact. A lot of people began to talk about the Tab S7. I saw many pros and cons to the device. Many people had the watch. People had the earbuds. Personally, I was able to go to my local Samsung experience store and get some hands-on time with both Notes and the Galaxy Watch 3 myself. So all of these contributed to a new view and a new appreciation for some of these devices. Now, this has never happened to me before, but this particular phone season, I'm not particularly into the phones. I got my hands on with the Note 20 line. I played with both of them. Please check out the hands-on video that I made. And they were good. Nothing wrong with them. They just weren't very exciting. The two best features of both of the phones were features that they didn't even really hit on during the presentation, and that was how the S Pen writes. They said it was a 9-millisecond response time compared to the higher response time of what I think was 23 or 42 milliseconds with the previous generation. that difference does make a difference in how it writes. I did enjoy writing on that device more so than my V60, which has been my current, device to take my notes on when I'm out and about. The other aspect that really got to me with the Note was DeX is now wireless. Now, if you see my videos any at all, I'm sure you've come across that I use DeX a lot. I have a laptop which connects to my phone, which I just do a lot of my work right there. I have a PC and such, but I like using DeX. It's a very simple PC-like experience, which for most of the work that I do, it just works great. It works fine. I think that it's the phone, wherever I take my phone, all my work is always with me without actually having to connect to a cloud or whatever the case might be. Now, DeX being wireless, to that wireless connection makes it so much easier. I won't have to fiddle with the HDMI wire or have the phone too far. I just have my keyboard, my mouse, and it mirrorcasts to my television or whatever device it might be, and it's just much easier to access my DeX program. Those two parts were what blew me away. Well, not blew me away, but got me semi excited for a new Note 20. But I didn't want to spend that kind of money just for those two features, because I have many devices that can write. Though I did enjoy the writing experience on the Note. I have a iPad Pro, I have my V60, I have my Note 8. So I have other things to take my notes on. Also, the wireless DeX, as unique as it may seem, is not particularly new. My Windows phones had wireless what was it called? Continuum, which I used a lot. It wasn't until I got a phone with DeX and a system to use DeX on that I stopped using Continuum. So the perk of having wireless is a nice little novelty to have, but I'm not particularly moved by it, especially because of the laptop. So those two things almost swayed me towards it. But after I got hands-on with both of the devices, I just wasn't moved enough. The regular Note 20 does not have the expandable storage. It's not 120 hertz refresh rate like I believed. No headphone jack. No. What's it called? The fingerprint is in the screen for the fingerprint scan. There's no iris scan. There's no face scan. There's no voice scan. A lot of things that made my Note 8 experience what it was. A lot of things that made me appreciate the Note 8 and the Note 9 for what they are just gone from these new Notes. And they try to have me pay that much more. And I just can't, in good conscience, do that to myself. So the Notes were a no. They weren't on my list before, but even less so now. But surprisingly, the one device that was lower on my list moved up to probably the second on my list, and that was the Tab S7 and the Tab S7 Plus. Now, what I found as I got more info about them, I saw previews and reviews and hands-on, and spoke with people at the Samsung Experience Store who they're probably paid to say nice things about it. But there was one particular guy who I felt he genuinely enjoyed these devices, which, is not as common as you might think at these tech stores. Many of them have no idea what they are trying to sell you. And when I know more about a device than he or she who is supposed to encourage me to buy the device, I feel away. But me and this guy had a very good conversation about not only the Tab S7, but the Galaxy Book Flex and the Galaxy Book Ion, and which he thought would be the better use case for me. And between him and these videos, I really began to appreciate what the Galaxy Tab S7 had to offer.
You'll need to unlock your device first.
I don't know why Bixby keeps coming on. I think I have a voice activation for her on my Note 8. And something I'm saying sounds like the voice activation word. But, yeah, the Tab S7, they say, can now rival, or it is now the only Android tablet to rival the iPad Pro. It comes with its version of the S Pen, which I have grown very accustomed to, so that's a plus. It's a large size, has the quad speakers that I like with the Tab S6. It has a super AMOLED display with the highest pixel density of any tablet. I mean, those numbers or those words sound nice, but it all translates to it looks really, really pretty. And has 120 Hz refresh rate, which when combined with the same type of pen or S Pen that was on the Note 20 line should make for that amazing writing experience that I had with those, but on a bigger canvas. So all that was really good, but I said, but I don't need another tablet. I have my iPad Pro. But then there was a YouTuber, I think it was Joshua Vergara, I think his name is, from Pocket Now. He made the point that DeX is an option on the tablet. Now, me, I'm like, well, why do I need DeX on the tablet? The whole point is being able to put your DeX device in your pocket and walk around, and when you need DeX, you pull it out, connect it to whatever screen or whatever's there, and boom, you have a PC experience. What he said made so much sense to me. It just brought on that epiphany that I said, wow, that's the device for me. He said that being able to transform the user interface from Android tablet for touch control and media consumption to DeX for a more PC-like experience to be more productive was the one of the best selling points of the tablet. And with that, my eyes were open, because I saw how that would be true. As much as I do enjoy writing on my iPad Pro and trying to learn all the new ways Apple does things, I am definitely not an Apple guy. I like the iPad Pro. I stand behind the iPad Pro as being the best tablet I've ever used. But because I'm so well versed on the Android side, having a tablet that is more suited to how I do things will just make it easier for me to get things done. And then being able to switch over to DeX whenever I have to do something more productive just makes sense to me. So now, do I plan on carrying the tablet everywhere? No, but when I do need to use DeX and I don't feel to pull out the cord and the keyboard and the mouse, it's all just there ready to go. That there is valuable to me. So I really do like that aspect of the Galaxy Tab S7. And it also does have the wireless DeX, so when whichever one I may end up getting, the 11-inch or the 12.3-inch screen, I think if that screen just isn't big enough for me to do whatever I'm doing, mirrorcast it to my TV, and there goes a 55-inch or a 100-inch. I want mirrorcast it to the projector, but to my TV, and it would be great. A huge canvas for me to type and see and do my editing, whatever the case might be, all there wirelessly. Especially the drawing aspect. Draw on that, see it up there. Yeah, I do like the idea that, or what the Tab S7 tries to put out. A productivity machine when you need it, and a media consumption machine when you don't. So right there, the Samsung experience was the Samsung Unpacked event. Like I said, went as I guess it would, but the after effects of it, once I was really able to get into the nitty gritty of some of these devices and experience them for myself and feed off of those experiences from others, it really opened up my eyes as to which of these items would be best suited for me. Now people say, oh, what about the Fold? I love the Z Fold 2. But I have a Z Fold 1. And things being what they are, truthfully, I don't know if I could afford a Z Fold 2. But at the same time, I don't think the jump from the original Z Fold to the second generation is necessary right now. Yes, there are a lot of tweaks that they did which I wish the original Fold had. The hinge from the Z Flip, which allows it to stay at any point, wish to God it had it. At first, I didn't much care for the larger screen on the outside, but when I learned of the hinge and they showed the phone being down and the hinge up, and them watching a video, or maybe it was a dual talk with the phone being its own stand, that I was sold. I can imagine that being a very expensive clock. You put it down, you have it up, boom, there you go. Wonderful. The hole punch design, the bendable glass, a lot of little tweaks there that made me say, wow, that is an amazing device. And it's a beautiful device. But because I have the original Fold, and I'm quite happy with the original Fold. It goes with me everywhere. I am not in a rush to get the new one. Not just yet. Maybe when I get my hands on with it and I get to really use it, something will click like it did with the Tab S7. The maybe say, you know what, I have to upgrade. Let's do this now. But as it stands right now, I think I might be able to wait for the third Fold, the one which I hope has the S Pen, or has a S Pen, because if what I'm seeing is the paths Samsung is going to take with their new phones, the Note really doesn't have much longer, or the Note line doesn't have much longer in this mobile world. Simply because the S line is everything the Note line is now, only without the S Pen. And in all truth, the S Pen doesn't offer enough difference from the S line to warrant the higher price. And in truth, the S line is now more expensive than the Note line, because the Ultra for the S was, I think, $1,400. The Ultra for the Note is $1,300. The regular Note is pretty much a joke when you actually feel it. It's $1,000 phone that feels it's more like a sub mid-range phone. Maybe $500 at most should be the price. Not because it's a Note, but because of what you're getting. So many downgrades from the Ultra in not only the software, but also in the physical materials of the phone. It's very strange how they chose to do that. So in all truth, I'm just throwing it out there. This really could be, or maybe even should be, the last of the Note line. Combine the Note line with the Z Folds, give that the S Pen, or make all of your devices be S Pen capable. Sell the S Pen as an accessory. If you want to have an S Pen with your Galaxy S, you get the pen using it because it is Bluetooth. You get all of your Note features. Maybe that's the way to go, because to sell the Note by itself right now seems almost counter pro. productive. The Note is not what it used to be. It used to be the is-all, end-all of Android devices. Now I can name many devices that offer a very similar Note-like experience for far less, and truthfully might even be better devices. Case in point, the LG V60. For $700 to $800, you get a large phone, wireless charging, waterproof, headphone jack. It doesn't have the 120 hertz. Neither does the regular Note. You have the wide angle camera. You have the zoom. It can shoot in 4K and 8K, all kind of still camera features and video camera features. It has a case that turns it into a quasi dual screen device. Well, not even quite. It does turn it into a dual screen device, almost like the way more expensive folding phones that are just becoming more popular now. And it has a built-in digitizer inside, which allows it to work with the same pens that work on your Surface computers and all of that, which is what I've been using. So if you need to take notes, check. If you need to listen to music, check with your headphone jack, so you can use your high-end headphones and use the phone's 32-bit DAC to get the best audio quality available in mobile. Check. Dual screens that can in their own way act as a single larger screen, check. It's a much better value than the Note 20 will ever be, and it's $200 to $300 less, even with the cost of the pen. So, just saying, if you're looking for that experience, the V60 might be a device you want to look into, unless you went for the Note Ultra. That's in a league of its own. I personally wouldn't really get the device because, like I said, the Notes are just too compromised in my opinion. But if you love your Note and those compromises don't bother you, that is the one to get. Even look upon the regular Note should make you shiver in disgust just a little bit. Anyway, with that said, those are my thoughts on the Unpacked event, the devices that was shown at the Unpacked event, and where my interest lies with those devices from the Unpacked event. So this is NG, the Neon X, and Samsung Unpacked event, the Note 20, the Z Fold, the Galaxy Tab S7. This is what I'm into.